Hey everybody, this is Chris coming at you from the channel I Am Toys, and of course coming at you again with another horror review. This time going to be based on a figure from the 1981 My Bloody Valentine slasher film. Came out, like I said, in 1981. Yes, I am in my pajamas doing this review, but I figured it kind of matches well. You know, the Valentine's Day theme of the box, and then also my red PJs. And as always, people, please like the video, subscribe as well, and we can't stress enough, please hit the like button, even hit the dislike button, because it helps the algorithm, gets these videos viewable. And people always ask, how do you not have more views on your channel? You know, us other horror reviewers, just figure reviewers in general, and there's tons of millions of horror fans out there that would obviously love to see this kind of stuff, but somehow we only get 400 to 600 views sometimes because, you know, nobody shares it, man. Nobody shares it, nobody hits the like button, and it kind of screws the channels. And so again, we can't stress it enough. So normally I don't do unboxings per se. I'll usually put the box art up, kind of rotate it around, you know, and let you get a shot of it. But this is really cool, man. So I wanted to kind of show the unboxing itself. And we'll talk about it, you know, who's involved as we do this. So as you can see, this is based on, you know, it's got the 1981 My Bloody Valentine, not the remake from 2009. You know, Doggie Designs is one of the main people involved in this. Essentially did the accessories, the figure body, clothing was done by someone else. He did all the accessories, the sculpt, and the box art, everything itself. So as you can see, you get the minor mask on the front of it. It's all heart shaped, and dude, man, just really cool stuff. And there's a lot of stuff, a lot of things that happened with this figure kind of in the background, you know, before I got this. And I'll talk a little bit about that because, you know what, we've all been in the hobby for a while. And those of us who have been in the custom game for quite a bit, you know, I'm probably got in within the last 5 years. There's people that are OGs in this for the last like 15 to 20 years. But, you know, a lot of people talk, you know what I mean? And, you know, things travel by word of mouth, and information gets shared. And, you know, some of it can sometimes seem, you know, not above the cuff, you know, to an extent, but, you know, like I said, we'll talk about it a little bit. So anyway, this is the COA. Again, just classic screams from the film, man. This is number 4, I'm assuming, out of 14. And, you know, you get the credits all on here. Like I said, hopefully this is coming in focus. The minor deluxe figure set project. This is the gentleman Brandon who did organize it. And head sculpt accessories, you know, painting, all done by Andy Maniloff. That's Doggie Designs. And tailoring was done by 288. So hopefully that's all coming in focus, and I didn't just hold it, you know, out of focus for you guys. So this is the COA essentially in an actual Valentine's Day card. So that's really cool. So you have the foam here, you know, laying on it so it keeps the accessories in place, you know, cut so it doesn't move around, which is a very good idea. And as you remove this, you know, you see some of the accessories, some of the unveiling, and what everyone is always waiting for, the actual removal of the foam. Show us the figure, Chris. Show us the figure. And as we lift it up, there we go. And I apologize again if you can hear the dogs barking, man. But, you know, this is the life of a reviewer, you know, when you're trying to review stuff from home, man. You know, that your dogs don't give a shit about what you're doing. So, but this is it, guys, man. This is the figure itself. And hopefully I'm going to rotate this around so you guys can see it a little bit better. And I'm not going to take everything out, but this is, you know, the figure itself, and I'm sure you can already see the weathering. You get a set of 5 hands, you know, you get the actual pickaxe, you know, God, I forget the word of this is fucking not coming to mind, but the, God damn it, it's not a nail gun. I don't know, we'll move on, but I'm drawing a blank. Drank too many beers last night. But you get the knife, you get the Valentine's Day box. We'll show what's in that later. Just an awesome presentation of this, man. Just really awesome presentation. So Andy, you know, the fact that he put the love into this to do this presentation and this setup, really cool. So we'll get into it. We'll show you the figure itself, hook everything up, and then yeah, man, we'll go from there and we'll talk some shit. So here he is out of the box. The headlamp is on. That's all battery operated, you know, with the belt box. That's right there. I'll show you the underneath shot of that if I can, you know, to show you where the battery goes in. That's just one of those small coin type batteries that goes in there. And but as you can see, man, the presence of this guy is pretty badass. But man, a lot happened in between me taking that figure out of the box and then setting it up, because in that review, figure is my first actual like unboxing. Like something's always got to go wrong, right? So I took the figure out, and the right boot ended up falling off. And I have like these Pyrex floors, like not hard wood, but obviously still hard, and it ended up hitting the floor and shattering. Not shattering completely, but it cracked. A couple pieces fell off. I had to basically put it back together. So it is back together again, as you can see, and I actually did a pretty damn good job, because you can't really even tell that that anything even happened. But unfortunately, because of that, though, I'm not going to be able to show you some extra poses. I wanted to do that, but unfortunately, like putting pressure on the body, like no matter the type of glue that I use, it's causing the boot to separate. So I wanted to show you guys like a nail gun pose, and I was actually right in the initial part of that video in the beginning. It is a nail gun. Like I don't know, man. Like I said, maybe too many beers last night. But anyway, that was fun. So I had to put that back together. And Andy is a good guy. He's going to be sending me another one. And so I'll have a fresh boot. And then once I have a fresh boot, I'll be, posing this more. I'll do some pictures and whatnot. I doubt if I'll come back and do another review, but you guys will see the pictures and you'll get the idea. But a little history about the movie, man, before we actually get into it. So, like, when they first started filming this movie, they actually filmed it in a real mine, and apparently these bozos who were at the in the town or whatnot, I guess they thought they wanted the mine, the film crew, they thought that the studio or the film crew wanted it clean, so they ended up cleaning the entire mine out, basically. And then they showed up for filming, and they were like, "What'd you guys do?" Like, we wanted it dirty, we wanted the environment, we wanted it to be real. And these guys ended up cleaning the entire damn thing. They ended up spending, like, I think it was like somewhere almost like $100,000, like almost 100 grand, to actually re-destroy it again, like to re-dirty it up, to give it a real look. So that was like kind of irritating to the film crew that they had to do that all over again. But you know what, it is what it is. The film, I believe it was, again, it was filmed in a real mine. It was filmed in Nova Scotia, if I remember correctly. And I think the cast of the movie, I don't think they even knew who the killer was. I think the director, because the cast was obviously they're new actors, they're kind of inexperienced to a degree. He didn't want them knowing who the actual killer was, so he kept that a secret. So you can actually draw out better performances, more real performances, from your actors. So that's always pretty cool. And like I said, this is actually Tarantino's favorite slasher film from the 80s. He actually, when he did the Grindhouse movie, which is kind of a throwback, obviously, to some other genres. One of his skits in that, and I don't know if it was generally the movie in general, but one of the skits in it specifically was actually inspired, he said, by My Bloody Valentine. And this was, I think, the second holiday. I want to say the second holiday horror film to actually come out, if I remember correctly. I mean, I could be wrong. If I am, correct me in the comments. But I do believe that after Halloween, which came out, this movie was the second holiday film to come out, I believe. I mean, you could say Friday the 13th was, technically in there. Well, no, I'm confusing that again. Let me go back. So technically, Black Christmas is the first one. Halloween would technically be the second one. And this one would actually be the third. So am I right in saying that this is actually the third horror holiday film or holiday horror film? So if I'm not, again, you got some other timelines and I'm forgetting something, just let me know. Friday the 13th, I don't really count that per se. It's a bad luck day, but it's not necessarily a holiday, even though they do have a National Jason Voorhees Day now. But you get what I'm saying, though. And I'm trying to think of anything else about the movie that kind of stood out. So those of you who have never seen the movie before, basically the synopsis of this film, these guys are playing, well, how is there a killer miner, right? So this dude was basically working in the mine when there was a big accident. And then apparently the security that was supposed to be there that maybe could have prevented the accident were all at this Valentine's party. So because they were at the Valentine's party, there was this huge accident and he was the only survivor. And I think he was in like a psychiatric facility or something. And I think the lore, whatever the mythology was, is that no more Valentine's Day parties. You know what I mean? Or like it was cursed almost. Like if you had a party, something Valentine's Day party, or you celebrated it, something bad would go wrong again, right? So of course, what do irresponsible teenagers do? They want to have a Valentine's Day party again. Warden ends up escaping from the hospital, and then of course people start dying. And you could almost see like the parallels to Halloween a little bit. Again, like everybody was kind of taking some slices of the pie. Just like where Michael Myers kind of waited till Halloween to then go after Laurie, who was technically posited to be his older sister, in the movie, or one of his sisters in the movie, where they then corrected that in the newer film that it wasn't. That was just a rumor in the newer films. But in the original, he does wait essentially and then escapes and then goes to kill her, after when Halloween comes. And then kind of similar, you have this guy who escapes from the mental health facility and then goes around killing folks on Valentine's Day because they started celebrating. And it wasn't because Laurie started celebrating Halloween that Michael Myers went after. Obviously there was something else going on there. But I'm just mentioning it, for comparison reasons, obviously. So that is pretty much the base stuff that I wanted to tell you about the movie, so you guys get it. As you guys can see from the from rotating around, the hands are out there. You get some accessories too, the COA I got displayed. But let's zoom in on this guy and get into the review a little bit more. We're going to let this guy spin around as we pan it as well. So the shoes are resin. At first, when I initially saw pics of this, I thought the boots were made of some kind of pleather or whatever, but they're actually resin. I love it that you get the Valentine's Day box with the heart in it. That heart does come out as well. And then here's the boot. And I forgot, I didn't notice earlier that you actually can see the one crack of the boot still. But as you can see, that happened, man. Picked up the figure, boot fell off, and it is made of resin, and I got these Pyrex floors, so unfortunately it broke. If I had carpet, it would have been good. But it ended up, unfortunately, I paid the price for that, man. And that is the nail gun. Obviously, get a little bit closer shot there. And as you can see, there's some nice weathering on the elbows, man. Andy did a decent job of putting some weathering on there. Weathering is always nice because it adds some depth to the figure. And obviously, this guy is in a mine and killing people throughout the movie, so he should be, pretty dirty. And overall, the presence of the figure is good. It's really spot on. As far as what Andy was able to, as far as what 288 especially was able to do with the outfit. And as you get up on here on the pickaxe, that handle is made of real wood, but the axe itself, that is resin, but painted to look like metal. And you got a little bit of weathering on the back. The belt is weathered all the way around, pretty much from what I've seen. And the gloves are like a hard type of resin, and then you have like a pleather material, around the wrist area. That hose doesn't come connected to the side, that oxygen chamber. You have to hook that in, but it goes in easy, obviously. And I love that you get the little Valentine, that comes with it. Actually comes in a little white envelope as well, which I don't have shown here. And that's the compartment where the battery goes in, which I'm now losing focus on. Here we are, we're back. But yeah, that little compartment right there, that's where the little tray slips out from underneath. So you slip that out and then you stick the battery in, and then you're good to go. I don't think there's an on-off button, at least not that I found. So that's the one thing that does kind of suck a little bit. You gotta take the tray out, take the battery out in order to turn the light off on the helmet. But it is what it is. The belts here, like I said, are weathered all the way around, accurate to the movie as well. So that is also nice. 288 really did a great job. I don't know if they did the belts, if those were handmade or tailored or outsourced, but if they did, it looks good. Even the cord on there too, to the battery box that operates the light there has some weathering on it. I don't know if you guys saw it. On the shoulders, you got some weathering, even on the back as well. It's some nice touches all around, man. Some nice touches all around. But wait a second though. So hold on a second. I'm gonna let this go around one more time because I think I may have found another issue with the fig that I initially did not see. So, really the only thing that, like I said, I had a problem with, obviously, the boot falling off, that was a pain in the butt, but, look at the figure itself, man. It's sick, man. It captures the character from the movie, through and through, so you can't complain about that. So like I was trying to do, we're going to let this guy pan back around because I think I actually saw an imperfection on the back here as we were live reviewing this here. So as it spins around a little bit more, yeah, man, you can see the residue, whatever Andy used to attach the cord up there. You know, that kind of stinks. You know, if you have OCD, I know that's going to bother a lot of collectors. I don't know if it comes around on the other side. Let's see as it turns. Does it show up on the other side too? Oh man, it does show up on the other side as well. Yeah, man, you know, that kind of stinks. You know, obviously, you know, you're not going to pose the figure from the side, or, you know, maybe you would turn the head or something, and you're not going to, you know, you're going to have it from the front. You know, you're not going to see it, but, you know, those of you collectors out there who have OCD, and, you know, and then for the money you pay for some of these figures, you know, it's going to upset some folks. But, yeah, you know, I don't know. Like I said, that kind of stinks. Love the blur work on the front of the mask here. You know, that is a nice touch, man. You know, just like the movie as well. And I don't know if this was intentional, but you do see a little bit of the space there. In the movie, you do see like space from the cloth or the between like mask front, you know, that front portion of his helmet or mask, like the glass piece, and then you usually see like some of his cheeks sticking out, if that makes sense in the movie. So you get a little kind of a feel of that. Let's go to the accessories. So these are the hands you get. You get a total of 7 if you include the 2 that are on the body. You know, each one is kind of set to hold something different. One you can hold the knife in. You've got relaxed hands. You've got one that you can hold the heart with, which I think I'm using to hold the Valentine's Day card. And you also get another hand that's holding a nail, so you can do a pose like he's got the nail gun open, about to, you know, put another round in there. And like I said, it's like a pleather attachment there, and then the hands itself are resin. And then this, you get this awesome little Valentine's Day chocolate box, which obviously does not have any chocolate in it. It's got a heart in it. And that heart does come out, and like I said, you can pose them with it. It's really cool. You guys want to know what scene that's from, you know, you guys can check it out. You know, for those of you who've never seen the movie before, well, you know what, we'll talk about that later. The knife itself, that's also not metal. You know, it's painted to look it, but you know, again, gives you some more flexibility with posing opportunities. And now we're gonna flip around, turn this thing to the side so I can show you guys the actual nail gun that I could not remember the name of. So here's the nail gun. Again, that's also not metal. You know, that's a plastic type material. Metal would have been cool, but it's all right. You know, that drives up the cost. And it also does open up, you know, again, so you can do that pose, you know, like he's putting in, you know, another round, you know, of the nail, and have him looking down at it. And here you go. You can see it opens up, you know, so you can pose it just right, like he's putting it in there. You know, so that's pretty cool. So let's close out with some final thoughts and pan this figure a little bit more. So like I was saying earlier, guys, where I was trying to say earlier is that this movie was initially shot as I think an NC-17 when the MPAA initially looked at it. And they had to reshoot it, trim some scenes down, and then got it down to a rated R film. But I think in the last like 3 to 5 years, I think Shout Factory did a 4K scan of this movie, which is awesome too, by the way. And not only is it awesome because it was a 4K scan, they also added, restored a lot of those scenes back. You know, so now with the violence back, it is definitely a much better movie too as well, more gory. Again, kind of feeds to the you know, the genre of this, what we know is the slasher genre. You know, you want to see some gore, you know, some violence. And so that's cool. If you guys haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out, grab it. It's worth it. And I'm going to be watching that tonight, you know, for sure, with this figure out. And you know, so overall gripes, man, the figure itself, I mean, just look at it. You know, it's you know, looking at it at its presence right here in the video, it's fantastic, man. I like it. Obviously, you know, it is a bummer for me to, you know, the boot falling off and then cracking and then having to fix it and whatnot. But like I said, Andy's going to put me out. He's going to give me another one. And then, you know, obviously if you have OCD, you know, or even if you don't have OCD, you know, that residue, you know, that's visible on the helmet is definitely going to bother some people if it is more rampant among other ones. So, you know, you guys that do have it, just be careful, you know, too as well, because I don't know if maybe the shoes could be potentially not secured on a few others, so just take my word for it. You know, just take it out, make sure you have your hands under the feet, you know, if they do fall off, just in case. But I think Andy said that he tried to do you know, as good a job as he could to make sure that they were all secured, but unfortunately, you know, mine did pop off. But you know, it is what it is. And again, you know, the residue piece, you know, again, it's a bummer, you know, and it's especially kind of a bummer for me too, you know, because I ended up paying more for this in original retail. It's the first time I've ever paid, you know, more than retail for the figure when it hadn't initially shipped yet. You know, normally we're used to paying more money, you know, in the aftermarket, but you know, I ended up paying about $400 more, I think, than the initial price where this went up to. And you know, a lot of people in the hobby, obviously, we all talk, and I don't think, you know, everyone understands that. So, but you know, I knew what the price of this figure was from day one of the pre-order. I just missed it. So when I was quoted the price, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely more than the figure initially was priced at. But when you like something, you know, you like the genre. You know, I'm a horror fan. You know, we're used to overpaying sometimes. And I know if I ever wanted to sell this figure, you know, I could obviously get my money back. It is a good figure. But again, you know, having to pay a little bit more, you know, than everybody else, especially at the gate, you know, at the jump when this was about to be released, and then for it to have, you know, some of the issues, you know, like I said, it's definitely a disappointment, and it can be a bummer. You know, it'd be a bummer for anyone, right? You know, but you know, some people, you know, they want to make some extra money, you know, so it is what it is. And there's some other things too I wanted to chat about, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time in this video, because I think most of you guys would probably check out, you know, after, you know, blabbing too long about, you know, some other stuff. So, but it is what it is. Overall, like I said, I do like the figure. I think it's very, very accurate to the movie, and I don't know if 288, you know, if I praised you guys enough in this, you know, for the outfit, but it's very, very close, if not spot on, to the film. Love the belt attachments like you see here. You know, I love the pickaxe. You know, again, everyone always wants real metal, but hey, you got real wood and you got some painted resin that looks like metal, so that should be good enough, right? But anyway, man, that's really about it, guys. You know, just wanted to show you this figure, and please like, subscribe. Like I said in the video in the beginning, hit the like button, man. You know, don't do me dirty. Hit the like button. Hit it. Hit it. Did I say hit the like button? Hit it. All right, guys. Deuces.